All right, so we have started looking at division, and we looked at long division and division with place value diagrams, and um, we did that with whole numbers, um, a whole number dividend, a whole number divisor, and ended up with whole number quotients. Today, we're going to start to go into decimals a little bit. We're going to um, start to ease into that idea there. And so we're going to start by looking at place value diagrams. And so the problem we're starting with is 62 divided by 5. And here's a place value drawing of that. We have 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 2. And we're breaking it into 5 groups. And so we went ahead and we took a 10 and put it there, took a 10, moved it over there, took a 10 over here, 10 over here, a 10 over here. And so we used 5 10s in those 5 groups. But then this last 10 didn't fit across. We couldn't put it into 5 groups. So we unbundled it. And so these two ones ended up going over here. This 10 became 10 more ones. So like I said, these two ones went over here. The next two ones over here. Next two ones. Next two ones. Next two ones. And now we have 2 ones left. And instead of just leaving those as a remainder, we're going to split those up. So those ones, we're going to break into tenths. So I can get 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 for this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 for this one. And now we start splitting up these 20 tenths between the 5 groups. So 20 divided by 5 is 4. So I take 1, 2, 3, 4, and they go in this first group. 1, 2, 3, 4, go in the second group. 1, 2, 3, 4 in this third group. 1, 2, 3, 4 in the fourth group, and 1, 2, 3, 4 in the fifth group. And so I end up with a 10, 2 ones, and 4 tenths in each group. And so this ends up being 12 and 4 tenths. So we don't have a remainder. We don't write the remainder as a fraction. We go ahead and keep splitting it up. We take those 2, we split them up into 5 groups, and we break them into tenths to do that. So that's what it looks like in a place value drawing, a place value diagram. Now let's look at what it looks like in long division. So we're going to do the digit by digit method here. So 6 divided by 5 is 1, and 1 5 is worth 5. And so I subtract, and I have 1 there. I bring down the 2. So now I have 12 divided by 5. I can get 2 5s out of a 12. So 2 5s is 10. And I have 2 here. Now there's nothing more to bring down. So I'm going to put a decimal point here because I ran out of whole numbers and I'm moving into place value, into decimals now. So I'm going to bring down this 0. And 20 divided by 5, I can get 4 5s out of a 20. So 4 times 5 is 20. And so my answer again is 12 and 4 tenths. I got 12 whole 5s out of there, and then 4 tenths of another 5. So we can do this again since we were able to go ahead and keep on dividing when we got a decimal. We're going to do starting with a dividend that has a decimal in it. And so our place value for this drawing, place value drawing for this division problem is 5 tenths, 50, 3 ones, 3, and 8 tenths, 53 and 8 tenths. And we're dividing it into 4, so we're splitting it into 4 groups. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 here, 1, 2, 3, 4 here. We have our 3 ones split up in here, so those are taken care of. 1, 2, 3. And we have 8 tenths, and we have 2, 4, 6, 8. So those 8 tenths are taken care of here. And so I have 10 left. So that 10, I can split up into 10 ones. Okay, so that takes care of that 10th. And so those ones, I can finish up here so that I have even groups. Now I can do another 4 ones. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I can do another 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now this last one, I'm not going to leave any remainders, so I have to split this up. So I'll split it up into tenths. So I'll do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So now that 1 is taken care of. It's split into tenths. And I can put 2 tenths here, 2 tenths here, 2 tenths here, 2 tenths here, but I still have 2 tenths left. So I'm going to turn those into hundredths. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Took care of that one. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Took care of that other tenth. Now I have 20 100ths, and 20 works out nice. It's a number I can divide by 4. So 20 divided by 4 is 5. So I can put these 5 right here. Put these 5 over here. These 5 over here. And then these 5 over here. And so I have everything accounted for, everything's crossed off, everything's been distributed across these 4 groups. So I have 10 plus 3, 13, and 45 hundredths. 13 and 45 100ths. 53 and 8 tenths divided by 4. 13 and 45 100ths. Now we're going to do the same problem with long division. 53.8 divided by 4. So I start with my first digit. 5 divided by 4 is 1. 1 times 4 is 4. So I go ahead and that's a 1. I bring down my 3. And so I can get 3 fours out of 13. That makes 12. 3 times 4 is 12. I subtract, and I have 1. So now I have my decimal point here, so I put that on top there, and I bring down my 8. So I can get 4 fours out of 18. That makes 16. I subtract. I end up with 2. I bring down a 0 for the hundredths place. So I'm 20 divided by 4. 20 divided by 4 is 5. 5 times 4 is 20. No remainder. So 13 and 45 100ths, no remainder. So we did division with using just whole numbers, but whole numbers that left a remainder, and instead of keeping a remainder, we went ahead and added more zeros, moved into the decimal area of numbers, and kept on dividing. Here we started with a dividend that had a decimal in it already, but we were comfortable moving with that, so we divided just like we normally would with long division, keeping track of where that decimal was as we went, adding more 0 placeholders as we needed to move into the hundreds place, 13 and 45 100ths. So if this is confusing, if you have questions, we'll talk about it some more in class. And I'm always available during office hours. So um, I hope this makes sense for you. If it doesn't, come and talk to me, please.